What is the one sexual experience you would love to relive again?
Experience 1. A man I saw maybe half a dozen times was incredible in bed. But the night I would relive was when the bed frame snapped in half during the act. He walked to the foot of the bed, grabbed each side of the mattress, and yanked it onto the floor with me still on it. We immediately kept going at it as if we hadn't been interrupted. Sexiest thing that's ever happened to me. Experience 2. That time I got bound to the bed frame, edged for hours while she was in her underwear, and then as she took off her bra and shoved her boobus in my face telling me to finish, and I came so hard that my abs started cramping. That was one hell of an afternoon. Edit 4K upvotes, either I've awakened something in y'all or y'all got immaculate taste. Experience 3. Easy 1, first night with my now wife. We'd been kind of on again and off again for a few months and dancing around each other. Finally, I took her to my place, made her a nice dinner, watched a movie, had a little wine, and made out for a while. She said,
Hey, let's stop this.
which made my heart sink because I was really nuts about her. And then she says,
Because we should move to the bedroom.
she has me go in, get naked and wait for her, and I will never ever in a million years forget the image of her coming around the door frame and just her thong hugging the wall. I learned later that she has body image issues and was genuinely afraid of how I was going to react. I reacted by dropping to my knees probably while drooling and thanking every god I could think of that she answered my OkCupid message, which I think let her know I was into her. We then had a long night of amazing intercourse, which 11 years and a kid later are still pretty much exactly how I react to her. I've had a few other pretty wild nights with others, but nothing tops being with the one you love. Edit, some people DM'd me to ask, it was Wreck-It Ralph that we watched and sealed the deal. Experience 4. My ex came over wearing a skirt one time. I was cooking dinner and we talked for a bit. Then she pulled out a chair, sat down, pulled her skirt up and started pleasing myself. She eventually told me to come over and told me to get on my knees and made me go down on her. Then she sat me down on the chair and rode me. Still pops into my head sometimes. Experience 5. When I became screw buddies with an older divorcee. She would invite me over for marathon screw sessions. She was insatiable and nothing was off the table. I still think about her sometimes. It was 15 years ago and she's still in my spank bank. Experience 6. Had a work conference in Montreal and I bombed my presentation. I was so down in the dumps and one of our colleagues from across the country comforted me. We ate, we drank, we stayed up all night just going at it, all over a hotel room. We passed out at 5 and I had to start my next presentation at 8. Woke up, didn't shower, aced the presentation hungover and smelling like intercourse, went back to the room, threw up, went at it until checkout, and took the most hungover flight I ever had. Best night. Experience 7. The night I felt her jizz. My girlfriend, now wife, is kinky but shy. She likes exhibitionism but is too self-conscious to actually do it. In the old apartment, the windows open, curtains wide open. There was a huge possibility that someone could see us. Not that anyone would care to see two middle-aged, average-looking people go at it. Without getting all explicit, I felt her jizz hard. It was truly a night to remember. Experience 8. I had a FWB for a few months and one day I told him I was having a stressful day. I work from home, so he came over while I was working, gave me a whole body massage and then ate me out until I came. Then left so I could finish working. I would probably be a much happier person if that happened regularly, LOL. Also, anytime I've been able to have an orgasm at the same time as my partner is amazing. I want to do that again and again. Experience 9. We were getting frisky in the pool. Right as I was finishing, 5 P-51 Mustangs in formation flew 700 feet overhead. We live not far from an airport which is home to a lot of warbirds and unusual aircraft. Experience 10. When I was dating my now wife, we got to spend 3 days at her aunt's apartment while she was out of town. We were making love nonstop and would fall asleep when tired, inside each other. A feeling of closeness and comfort that is hard to describe in words. Experience 11. One night during my senior year in high school, I climbed through a girl's window at like 1 a.m. and I didn't get home until right before my grandparents woke up. Being a stupid teenager, I thought we were just going to hang out and play Minecraft. To be frank, she was playing Minecraft without any clothes on when I made it through. Experience 12. The first time me and my ex did it, I felt like I was tripping on Molly or something. I've never experienced something so emotional and weirdly spiritual during intercourse, lol. Then he looked me in the eyes and told me he loved me. I melted. Experience 13. 43 years after last seeing my 8th grade crush, we went out for a beer. An hour and we were old people making out in a bar. Being an hour from each of our homes, we parked on the railroad tracks. Even we old people can do a lot in a Honda CR-V. She's now my wife. Experience 14. I had nothing going on, so I walked to the bar down the street by myself. Only one girl really caught my eye, a cute, petite, nerdy girl with glasses, but she was dancing on some guy. Later, I coincidentally found myself sitting next to her when the bar announced some kind of wacky contest that involved standing on the bar and taking shots. I stood up for that and she stood up too and started dancing with me and eventually grinding on me so hard that the bartender was like,
"Hey, you guys gotta stop."
We migrated to another bar with her friend group and then she asked if I wanted to go to her car and smoke a bowl. We had been in a second-story bar, so we got in the elevator and as soon as the doors closed, she leaned her full body weight against me and asked if she could kiss me. We made out in the elevator, went to her car to smoke, and I asked her if she wanted to come back to my apartment. After some more make-out time in the apartment, I peeled her tight jeans off and went down on her for a solid 15 minutes while she praised my form, my favorite compliment to receive. After she returned the favor for a few minutes, I told her, "I want to screw you." The next couple of hours had some alcohol in me, so this wasn't going to be a quick one, involved some of the most intense and primal intercourse of my life. She was fantastic in bed. So much eye contact, direct communication, super intense dirty talk.
"Your Johnson feels so good in my punani."
Uttered as if in tears, that type of thing. Kisses of appreciation on the back of my neck in moments where I put my head down and thrust into her with all my weight down for every position or suggestion. When I finally pulled out, she asked me if there was anywhere, besides inside her, that I'd like to jizz. I could only stammer out, "Mouth, okay?" before she cheerfully nodded and put her mouth on me. Just in time too, because the tip of her tongue was enough to finally push me over the edge as she swallowed what was likely the largest load of my life. On top of all that, she had the wettest and tightest punani I can imagine. It looked like I had thrown my sheets into a running bath. And the next day I could still feel the ridges of her punani imprinted on my long Johnson. I guess all in all it isn't the craziest intercourse story, but it was just a night where every single moment was more awesome than the last. She spent the night. I walked her to her car the next morning and she gave me a really passionate kiss. We screwed a couple of more times over the next couple of weeks before she got back with her longtime ex who she ended up marrying. All good, but nothing topped that first time we did it. Experience 15. One of my exes, my favorite one, was extremely good at eating me out. I'm fortunate enough to have dated other people who were very good at it, but for whatever reason this particular ex had an ungodly level of talent that to this day I've never experienced with anyone else. Well, there was this one time that it was just way too good, and I ended up squirting nonstop for around a full minute. I've accepted that it'll most likely be the best orgasm I'll ever have in my life, but damn, I wish I could relive it. Experience 16. Was showering with my then girlfriend, now ex, at the time and was unbelievably horny and just ogling her in the shower while waiting with anticipation. We had planned to screw after getting out, so I wasn't being weird. I ended up putting her in so many positions and ravaging her to the point that the bed was shaking and creaking like it had heavy furniture being rapidly thrown on it by cartoon characters just from my thrusting. Missionary. Blew my load so hard that I got dizzy and tried not to pass out. Some laughs were had too. God, I miss intercourse with her. Experience 17. The first time with my husband. OMG. I've been crazy about him since I was 6. I moved away and we reconnected in our mid-20s. He picked me up, we listened to the rock and roll station, head banging and singing along together. The chemistry in the car along was insane. We sat on his couch with candles lit all over the room and talked for hours. At one point, we began kissing and he has really big, long hands. So, when he fingered me, I fell in love. When he went down on me, I fell deeper. I was throbbing so hard, it hurt, so I grabbed his hand and led him into the bedroom and we made the sweetest love. When it was over, he asked if I'd be his girlfriend and we laughed. Still the best intercourse of my life. No man or woman can compare. Experience 18. I had a one-night stand with a girl right after getting out of prison, so it had been a while. She was a bona fide 304, and I don't mean that disparagingly, she just loved screwing. We went out to eat at this Chinese restaurant and it was going okay. We left and got into her car in the parking lot, and she said something like,
Can I tell you something? I'm kind of an SLUT.
And she kind of pouted when she said it. Then we were getting into it, and I was fingering her, and she told me to finger her, but at the same time. We ended up hooking up and I screwed her doggy style with her but out of the open driver's side door and her body in the driver's seat. This was right in the parking lot, LOL. It got raunchy and nasty. Afterwards, she drove me to my halfway house and we never spoke again, LMAO. I probably think about it once a week and it's been 8 years.
We hope you enjoyed listening to today's stories. If you want to see more stories, check out these videos or check the links in the description for more videos. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And ring that notification bell.